Welcome everybody to Bigger Vision podcast. I'm your host, Mellow Mod, fitness coach, personal trainer. Fitness is my lifestyle, and I'm with my host,
Burning the Barber, owner of Vision Cuts Barbershop.
Okay, in today's episode, we will be talking about Barbershop POV with our special guests, Leonard and James. How you doing, fellas?
All right, how are you?
Doing well. Thank you for having me.
Yes,
no problem.
Likewise.
Thank you for coming. We appreciate you coming to the show.
Of course.
So we got a few questions today. We want to see what your barbershop experience is and POV.
Okay. Let's get to it.
Cool.
Let's get to it. Okay. So how do you first decide which barbershop is right for you to go to?
You want to start? You want me to start? Okay. How do I decide? All right, bet. So, for instance, when I moved back home about 5 years ago, I had no idea where I was going to go to get my hair cut. So at first, I just was like Googling some, and I started going to some of them to see, if I could get a good haircut. Unfortunately, a lot of them didn't work out. They didn't know how to cut my hair. And so for me, it's like a trial and error type of thing. Finally, I just got back on Booksy, like I was using where I used to live. And I ran across Vernon, and I looked through his portfolio on the app, and I was impressed by what I saw. I was impressed by the cuts. I was impressed by the precision. And I decided, let me give this guy a shot. And on top of that, the fact that I was able to make an appointment and not have to just randomly go into a shop and wait and stuff, which I'm over. I was just like, okay, I like that as well. So that's something that helped me decide on where I want to go get my hair cut.
For me, I would echo the same thing. I start pretty much with consistency of the barber's cut. I too went on Booksy, searched before I actually fell upon Vernon. Had trial and error, more error than anything. Yeah. But a lot of it is just mainly looking for the quality of the cut and the consistency of the cut. It's good to hit, a one-time thing, but if you can't keep it consistent throughout, it's not a go in my book. So once I fell upon Vernon and saw, his quality of work through his photos and how consistent it was across the board, I said, you know what, let me come in and give it a shot. And it didn't hurt that it was single sweep versus a traditional barbershop.
Absolutely.
And I think that's unique right now. And it helped me to feel a little bit more comfortable and making sure that this felt a little bit more of a place where I can come to and be myself instead of having to, put on, if you will.
For those of you who don't know, they are gay. They openly gay. And my next question that I want to ask you guys, do you feel you have to hide your sexuality when you come in a barbershop?
So is this now or before?
Both.
Before, I'll speak for myself, of course. I think for me, although I am out, it's not something that may always be well received. And one would think, well, who cares what other people think? And it's easy to say, but in a lifestyle, for example, some may say that's ridiculed and that's frowned upon and that's not necessarily favored, especially, within what I may find as all environments. It may not feel safe. Is one thing. It may not feel safe, and then it also may not feel as I make it the same quality of work or the same quality of service as someone else would. So yes, I do feel like I have to be someone different before I get comfortable with the barber or the environment that I'm in to then be myself. Here, when I came to see you, I had that initial presentation, of course, because it was new. But as you know, I think it was either the first day I came out to you and let you know my whole story. So it didn't really take long. It must have been either the first or the second time.
I think it was the second one.
The second time. Clearly it didn't take long. It didn't take long. So you definitely made for, as I said in the review that I gave you after that second encounter, I gave you, what a safe space would feel like. And I think that's really important. Having that safe space, which is not oftentimes found. And I still hold to that. That safe space is just very, very important.
Definitely.
What was the question again?
The question is,
do you feel you have to hide your sexuality when you come inside a barbershop?
Okay, so I'm gonna take it just like he did, past versus present. past, of course, I definitely felt as though I had to assimilate. I felt like I had to hide essentially who I was, and just to be able to make it through the experience of being in the shop. Most of these shops that I've, of course, been to, they've been primarily, you know, heterosexual, sometimes Caribbean people working in there. And you know how Caribbean, well, I don't know if y'all know, excuse me, but Caribbean people and men and how they act towards people who are gay or homosexual is, yeah, it is detrimental. It can be detrimental, yeah. Yes. And so, so just being able to navigate through that space, at times I did feel like I hid who I naturally was just to be able to make do. But I will say in the present, just out of self-work that I've done for myself, internal work that I've done for myself, I don't hide myself no matter where I go. And so I'm very comfortable. I found myself very comfortable at Vernon's shop. He also makes the environment very inviting and very warm and very open. And he's, in my opinion, he's just a people person, and it's just enjoys servicing people and enjoys his art, you know, enjoys being able to display his art on a client and everything like that. That's what he's mostly concerned about, and concerned about people's well-being and everything like that. So he doesn't know that he low-key serves as a therapist at times, you know, and stuff like that. And it's really cool. And so I just felt completely comfortable from day one. And eventually we got more personal with our conversations. And so it's not like I came out saying, oh, by the way, I'm gay. You know, this is our first time and you cutting me and all this kind of stuff. I'm gay. No, nothing like that. But it's just a natural progression type of thing where, you know, as we discuss things and as we talk, of course, aspects about my life are going to come up, are going to start to come up. And so he learned that, I can only presume that you learned that by way of our conversations and everything like that. So, or maybe you already knew that I was gay.
It was, I don't know if you remember, but we had a conversation. You was when we was at the old barbershop. I'm not shouting them out.
The first one?
It's all about vision cuts.
Was it the first one that I met you at?
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
You had said I forgot exactly what we was talking about.
Okay.
Our conversation, and you was you said are they a part of my community or something like that?
Okay.
You insinuated that.
About another client?
I think another person or another client or something.
Okay.
And then that's kind of like how you, I don't know if you remember, that's how you kind of broke the news. Like if you said that. And then like, obviously, I mean, you can kind of tell a little bit, but you can't. So,
I got a little twang, you know, all that, right?
You don't want to assume. That's what we say.
Got a little twang, you know, got a little feminine ways. I get it. It ain't no pressure.
So I ain't want, you know, I want to be respectful. So I ain't want to ask you outright, but when you did say that. And yeah, that's pretty much, I don't know if you remember that, but that's how you pretty much broke the news.
I don't remember
like,
that.
to let me know you was gay.
Okay.
Yeah,
broke the ice.
But you just could have said, nigga, you got it.
One thing I wanted to add though, you know, is that it's not only you, but it's also the clientele that you attract.
Yeah,
one thing that I remember about you mentioning to me when I did, you know, come out to you, if you will, you mentioned that it's a safe space, but you also said your clientele will respect the space that you have. And I think that's very important to be mentioned, because it's easy for you yourself to behave in one way, but your clientele to then behave a totally different way.
Yeah.
But you know, commanded respect within your space, across the board. And there's never been a point where I felt, you know, either ashamed or, you know, uncomfortable or whatever the case may be. But that's just because you set that tone for your space, which is something I can definitely appreciate.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Okay, the next question is, are you treated differently once your barber or other clients find out your sexuality? Like once you present it to everyone, are you treated differently afterwards, like versus before when no one knew? Like, is there a change?
Okay. I think I can relate this just to not even just solely the barbershop, but even outside of the barbershop in my experiences of someone maybe it being ambiguous and someone not knowing for sure versus actually finding out. As I grew up and in the past, of course, it's been a thing. It's been made into a thing. I can even speak on a friend I had, and our friendship ended, 2012, when I finally had come to grips with my sexuality. And then out of respect, I told like my immediate family and my close friends at the time. And I told this one guy, he was heterosexual, had a family, kids and all. And I was, I consider myself a really good friend to him. And I felt, and vice versa. And unfortunately, he basically was like, I can't, like, in so many words, like, can't continue a friendship. Like, he was like, because his family feels some type of way about that. And if I was to come around at another family function, he doesn't want people asking if I'm gay and all this kind of stuff. And what is he doing here? And so on and so forth. Like, apparently they had asked previously. And that's when he told me that was a conversation that a lot of his family members were asking when I went to one of his birthday parties years ago. And so, yeah, it can definitely be made into a thing as far as like personal wise. In the shop, I guess it hasn't been many times that I've literally blurted out, hey, I'm gay or something like that. If it comes up in conversation, cool. I feel like I guess I haven't been treated differently. But again, I feel like I really haven't been vocal about it until I got older in my latter years, in my latter 20s. And by that time, I feel like it was more acceptable anyway. So yeah, I did, like, I related it personal wise and to the shop. So yeah.
Gotcha.
For the shop, which I'll keep it in that way, I haven't felt any different. There's never been a point where, if I'm understanding the question correctly, that I've been treated differently based off of the fact that somebody has known that I was gay. And that's been throughout the time that I was coming here. I can't speak on other encounters elsewhere because I didn't come out at that point. I kept it under wraps, if you will. But here more consistently, it hasn't been anything where I've had any type of level of discomfort or anything along that line. In fact, my engagement in the conversation, whatever it may be, just may not be on the traditional sense with the woman. It's just, I volunteer the information that I know because of a dude, I mean, at the end of the day, the relationship to which I can have with the dude would be similar to what one would have with the woman, but I just can't engage in the full-on dialogue. But it's still the similar circumstances that I can still comment on,
Right.
So we can still meet, eye to eye. This may not be the same. So, yeah.
We had those discussions.
We ain't gonna speak about being addicted to, PUSSY or anything. Because we don't have that. We don't live that experience.
Oh
Yeah, we know burning. I can't relate. So but otherwise, yeah, we can definitely engage in conversation along with you guys.
Do you feel you have to be more masculine when you step into the barbershop? Like, do you feel like whatever they're talking about, like you have to, show you macho, or you gotta join in and, you have to fit into whatever they're talking about?
Ooh.
Chilling.
Right. Gotta clutch my pearls a little bit on that. Let me think. Do I have to feel like
You gotta show like you're more manly, or
No. If anything, I feel like there are areas where I can grow in, personally. And I take that specifically from, the rap conversation, for example. Yeah, right. So there are areas where I can grow in more so than anything, but it's not where I have to, be more masculine. It's just more so of exposure. I'll say that. So no, I'm strictly myself regardless of, I just don't know it. That's it. I don't know it. And I know that's a limitation of mine.
You definitely voiced that too.
Uh-oh. That's what it is. Uh-oh. So yeah, that's all I can get to. And if I can't enjoy the conversation or I can't engage, I know my place. I'll sit back.
Just
I'll
wait for the
listen.
next
I'll
topic.
learn. And just wait until somebody can chime in on, you know?
Gotcha.
For me, I don't feel like I have to turn on like become more macho or become more masculine or anything like that. Again, I show up as me because being me is enough. And you know, most people like it. You know, everybody. I'm not everybody's cup of tea, so everybody won't like it. But those who get it will. Those who get it will. And so that's all that matters to me. And you know, I might not relate to everything that's being discussed in the shop, such as I don't know anything about football. I know that they have cute uniforms, right?
And nice bodies.
Yeah, right. And nice bodies. So, you know, go team. You know, but you know, I have a favorite basketball team, so I can relate on that. Miami Heat.
Trash.
No, right? He doesn't like to rep the teams in where he's from, which is weird.
Yeah, no
but
teams.
Yeah, we'll talk about that on the different. We'll talk about that on the different topic. We got a lot to discuss about that.
But when y'all do discuss things that I may be able to relate to, I definitely engage. And then sometimes I feel like we're able to offer another perspective and another
view,
like more topics that maybe they wouldn't even think of talking about or discussing had we not been here or been clients or something like that. So yeah, that's the long answer to the question.
or a perspective that's just different. You know,
Yes, correct.
different, not to be undervalued,
Yes.
but different to also be valued and considered just as much.
Yep, I agree. I think we answering these questions pretty well.
Y'all
Well,
appreciate
thank
you elaborating. Y'all doing
Absolutely.
So I got a question for you. What are the topics that make y'all feel uncomfortable while you in the barbershop?
Ooh.
This
Coming
goes,
with these
this goes to you now.
No,
right?
I think I answered the first one.
Oh, I
Moments
you want
ago.
me to
Now
answer
it's
this
on
one?
you.
Okay. So, are there any topics that make me uncomfortable?
What are the topics? If
What are
it's
the-
a
what
singular,
are the
plural,
topics?
one, it could be multiple.
Like, why are they talking about this right now? I don't want to hear this in the shop right
Well,
now while I'm here.
I hate the word faggot. I hate hearing that word. I hate it being used. It's very derogatory, and for me, that's like when a Caucasian person says nigga or something. You know, like it's just it's that below the belt type of comment that I really don't like. And you know, based on preconditioning, as growing up, you know, hearing that so often and being called gay even before knowing that's what I was and stuff like that. Like, so just that, I hate hearing that word. Or if they, you know, the Caribbean say bati boy and all that kind of stuff. Like, I dislike that.
It's a trigger word.
Yeah, it's trigger words. Yeah, there are trigger words. Anything as far as like heterosexual normatives being discussed, nothing like that really makes me uncomfortable. I know something else that makes me uncomfortable. People slandering Brandy, Norwood, that is. I don't like that. I don't care for that.
Big fan.
I'm a huge fan.
Trust me, I learned the hard
Let's
way.
be clear, I'm a huge fan.
I learned the hard way about Brandy, boy. Don't say nothing about Brandy.
Do not try me like that.
It get real ugly.
Not Moesha. Not Moesha. Mo to the.
Celebrating about 25 years this year, I believe.
Whitney Better.
Can we not?
Go
That's
ahead.
that's her godmother. So can we
Whitney
not
Better.
do that? And she loved her. She adored Brandy.
Well, throwing out Janet.
And
Janet all the way.
yeah, they don't like when people slander
Okay.
Janet. Exactly, right? So those are topics that I don't care for in the shop or whatever. But otherwise, I feel like I do pretty well.
As for me, it all depends, I guess, on the environment sometimes. I know one thing that's a triggering point for me is when something is termed gay. And it's usually just something that could be by way of either habit or by way of action or by way of whatever it could be. Oh, that's gay. That's gay. Like adjective in the sense of the description of, yeah.
Yeah.
So
Something negative.
right.
In a negative light.
Right. And always want to think to myself, like, there's so many other words you can use to describe that, but you want to use gay, like, you know, increase your vocabulary a little bit, you know, level up, you know, but, that period, right.
Gain some culture.
That part. So that would be one thing. It's
your cultured swine.
I'm guilty of that, man. I'm better now, but I'm guilty of that.
And we are so proud of you.
Your growth is happening, and I'm appreciative.
You know, it's so hard.
I think another thing would be, which doesn't make it uncomfortable, but I know the question is going to end up being directed, and this is not here in this shop, but this has been in our prior experiences in other shops, is when you talk about how many women you've been with, or, you know, when was the last time you got some, or whatever the case may be. And I know that it's going to...
What you think about her right now?
Oh, that.
I think nothing. She's a beautiful woman.
Exactly. I can appreciate that.
So you say, what do I think about? Did you say that's a topic that
oh, like say you are another barber, and then you might ask like, oh, that chick bad over there, and then he's asking like, what you think about her, and it's kind of like, oh, you know, back then I was like, oh, she look good.
They include you in the conversation.
Exactly.
Okay,
and it's like, really, it's like, I think nothing. I think she's a pretty girl, but that's it.
That's not the answer.
I'm not necessarily fetishizing the you know, the ass, the
features,
the breast, you know, any of the face. No, I mean, the face we definitely admire, right? Yeah, we be like, okay, she, you know, she got it going on, she put it together, all that kind of stuff, but not in the way of you guys, not in the likeness of you guys.
And so that would be where pretty much I was coming from in that sense, just giving that type of conversation. You know, it doesn't make me uncomfortable, as I was saying, but it's something where I know the anxiety starts to level up a little bit more, because if it comes to me, that's not going to be the engagement that they're going to want. They're going to want more of a, you know, heavy description on what I would want to do to her, how I would want to be with her. And it's like, not really.
Yeah.
But so that would be pretty much about it.
We would want you to look at them like how we look at them, like an object, like kind of like.
You said it, I did.
Yeah.
You said it, I did.
Yeah, I said it.
Why are you saying we?
I'm saying we.
This a man.
Oh, I mean, hey, I meant me. Yes, Mr. Anderson, I apologize. I meant me. Okay, not we. I take the W off. Change the W to M.
Oh man.
But yeah, also, go back to what you had said.
Okay.
I used to say gay for everything. Like if I'm watching football, so gay ass nigga, like that's just a term we always use. And what really was a turning point was D. I think his name was D.
D Fly One on Facebook. Oh, sorry, I don't shout out somebody.
Yeah, D.
Yeah. Okay.
Your client D?
Yeah. No.
Okay, I'm not talking about the client.
Another D.
Okay.
So I had I was cutting him one day, and we was I don't know if he was watching football. I think he was watching the game because it was a live game, and it had to be obviously an important game because typically, as y'all know, I pretty much try to cater to my clients. So obviously, I'm not for to put on no BG. If you know, no, I'm gonna put on something that you know, maybe some R&B or a movie or something, you know, something else for your
something I might be interested in.
But it was a big game, so we was watching football at that moment. I had to watch it, and somebody dropped the ball, and I said, "So gay ass," and I said, and as soon as I said it, it just like registered. It registered right away, and I'm like. God, it was a cringy moment. I was like, damn, man, I know he had to hear it. Like, I think that's probably like the last time I said, like, use the word gay in that term, like, in that way. Like, that really, like, made me, like, hold on. Like,
did he feel offended after you said it?
He
just kept it rolling.
Yeah, he just kept it rolling. But, I mean, I cut his hair after that, so I don't think he probably didn't hear it. Or he probably didn't take offense to it, but as soon as I said it, I already
No, you ain't apologize to him.
Nah, because then I left it alone. I just kind of try to sweep it up under the rug real quick. But it was that was I think that was the last time I used like that term in that way. That was the wake up call for me. Like, damn, man. Especially like, you know, obviously customer service is everything in my field, so you got to be on point with that. So
absolutely. Mm-hmm. Well, I'm glad you said that, sir. So now this question is for you. So how comfortable are you cutting, getting in hair?
I mean,
since you used to be, you know, how you used to feel.
I mean,
in the past.
All right. Right now, obviously, I don't have an issue cutting gay man. Anybody have, like, gay, straight, whatever, black, white, purple, I don't care. Like, I'll cut it. As long as he got hair, some money. Money. I'll cut it. So, but,
money talks.
Shit, whoa. I'm pretty comfortable now. Like, I mean, thanks to these guys right here, they not only just in a barbershop, but like obviously we built a relationship like in the shop, and also obviously we seen each other outside of the shop. Like obviously you guys was a part of my wedding, and it was like you guys put me on to like
a different perspective,
a way different perspective. Because honestly, like before, I used to look at all gay people like they was.
You didn't want to be associated.
I don't. Like, nah, I don't want to offend nobody, but I don't want to say I didn't like gay people, but I didn't like gay people in the beginning. Because I just looked at them as like they wasn't, I wouldn't say human, but they wasn't human to me. That like, just, get away from me. Mm. And then, you know, obviously once I started cutting hair, I had to be, you know, if you want to make money, you gotta be open to. So obviously y'all never, you know, obviously try me, disrespect me in no type of way and vice versa. So, but the one thing I appreciate and thankful for our relationship is we both can agree to disagree. Like to this day, we still have back and forth, you know, how you feel gay people is being perceived or in society today. I may have a different perspective, and it's never been a moment where I never disrespect each other. Right. It wasn't like, oh, well, fuck you, I'm not gonna be coming to your shop. Right. Like it never was that. Like we like take it back to take it back to so during COVID, and this a story I tell a lot of people. We had I was cutting your hair in the garage and during COVID.
Him and me.
Yeah, you.
Oh
you,
no.
You, I cut you. I was cutting your hair during COVID, and we had, and this the same time Boozy made his remarks about, you know, the way daughter. So obviously my stance to that was, what did he say wrong? Like I agree with Boozy. And
sadly.
And I remember it got me and him was going back and we was going like nothing crazy, but we was
a debate.
It was a debate, and it wasn't no mild tone. Like we was going like it. He had his perspective. I had my perspective. You feel me?
Yeah.
And that was the. I feel like that's the I ain't gonna say the turning point because I already was tight, cool with you anyway. Yeah. But that was like, all right, I appreciate him because
made y'all bond.
I can express how I feel, my stance with it, and vice versa. And it ain't gotta be we can agree to disagree. Absolutely. You know, and you also educated me on certain things. So when I said what's wrong with what Boozy said, what's wrong with what he said? And he said, so for this whole time I'm thinking like when he said that's not what Dwayne Wade is saying. He's not saying he's gonna make his daughter cut whatever that situation.
Right.
And you said
there was a difference between
Transsexual. I never knew that. I thought it was like, hey,
but straight people hear trans and it automatically change your body parts and all this kind of stuff.
Exactly. So that's how I seen it. As soon as you say trans, I'm thinking, okay, well, you for the done, you out the game, and you. So I'm like, I'm all with Boozy, and obviously you educated with me, like, no, that's not saying it. Then you told me the difference between transsexual and transgender. Yeah. It's like, what? Like, that was the kind of like the wake up call. Like, you gotta stop always talking and listen sometimes. And I think that's what both sides I feel gotta do is stop talking so goddamn much and just listen. At the end of the day, if you like to do that, that has nothing to do with me. That's none of my business, and vice versa. You ain't worrying about who I'm putting my thing in they slide or whatever. You're not worried about that. So, like, I just feel like too many people nowadays are just too concerned with,
what other people
got going on. And like, I feel like it'd be more millionaires, more entrepreneurs, more successful people in this world if you stop worrying. Like honestly, like, I really don't be giving a fuck about what somebody doing in a personal, especially if I don't know them and they're not close to me, tight to me, like in my circle. I give a fuck about what you got going on, what you're doing, and that's just being real. Like, sorry or not sorry, just it is what it is, But I mean, obviously, like I say, y'all already know like how I feel about y'all, man. Y'all.
Stand up dudes.
Yeah, stand up dudes. Like, y'all.
Respect for y'all.
Y'all so
thank y'all.
Real ones, man. Like, y'all definitely changed my perspective. And obviously I got a little brother that's, obviously y'all know I got a little brother that's, gay. And I'm not gonna say it. I think through our relationship, I'm not gonna say it because me and my little brother still don't have the greatest relationship, but we cool. We obviously still got some hurdles and stuff, whatnot to, get over. But I know, like I passed that homosexual part that kind of
would you say caused the rift?
Yeah, like, cause I ain't messing with that. Yeah. So I kind of, so obviously through our relationship and getting to know y'all, and that kind of helped my relationship with my brother. Like now, it's like with that part, I mean, obviously, like, again, we still got to iron some other things out personal, but like for sexuality, like I don't look at him different no more. Like that's my little brother. That's and anybody trying.
On the site.
You don't need to say
that. I don't do too much talking, man. Y'all know what it is. Y'all
Understood.
I got big toys. Yo, man, I could go on all night. But like I say, I appreciate both of y'all. I tell both of y'all I love you. I tell all my friends I love them anyway. So, but
it's a special love, though. A special love,
so
for sure.
You never told me you love me, bro.
Yes, I did.
We love you.
If I ain't said that, I love you now. I love you, bro.
You're like, I'm feeling left out.
Man, spread some love around, man. You're in that mood right now.
Definitely.
Hey, yeah, you know mutual, you know what I'm
saying? That's it. But
was there time to flip the script though?
Whatever.
Could we ask a question?
Sure.
Okay.
Both of us?
No, just for you, for the moment.
You're the barber, so.
You're the barber, yeah. So,
sip.
Right, that part. I'll let you take one first before I ask.
What are you drinking on?
Azul. I can't shop them out. Drinking on Vision Cut. Drinking on some Vision Cut, baby. Drinking on Vision Cut, baby. No, bigger vision. That's what
bigger vision.
There you go. Bigger vision.
Keep it up. You can have your own, chain of alcohol, like brandy.
The drop again. It's the drop again for me.
In the works. In the works. Future in the works.
I can't speak for James, but I know sometimes I've engaged in conversation where I've asked your advice, from the heterosexual standpoint, how to approach the situation from my standpoint as a gay man. Has that made you feel uncomfortable at all, or?
No.
Okay.
Not at all. I mean, you do a good job. You do a good job of wording it. You put your words together. Let's just say that, like, articulate it. It's not like you don't say like crazy. I ain't gonna say crazy. I don't want to use the word like you so well spoken. Some people come on like, hey man, I see this old fine ass nigga right there. But you come off,
respectful.
Yeah. Okay. So it's just like it's easy. Just like if a girl came up to me and asked me the same question, but vice versa, like it just like I won't feel awkward or weird, responding to her in regards to if she asked me a question about, but nah, it don't make me. Not at all.
Didn't want to put you on the spot, but something I always thought about. I was like, here I'm just volunteering these questions. Never asked if you're uncomfortable or not. I just ask it because I'm comfortable. So that's it.
Well, there have been times that I've mentioned something about a client who I may have been next after, and after they walked out, I may have complimented them and stuff like that. And so there's been moments that I've said, oh, I hope I didn't make you uncomfortable. He's like, nah, you good. And he'll just be laughing. Like, I'm like, I'm sorry. It was on my mind.
This ain't pause.
It's what it is. I ain't gonna say Paul. It is what it is. That's how he felt. I said, hey, that's it. Hey, I don't feel no way.
Gotta speak it how it is at the end of the day, You gotta speak it how it is.
Oh, man.
Attraction, you know what I'm saying?
That it is.
But if I ever do make you uncomfortable by a comment or something, please let me know.
And the same.
And vice versa, too.
Thank you.
I know we can have a little, especially this guy right here,
it's about being respectful of others' boundaries.
We have conversations, boy, about.
Oh
my God.
The baddest on the planet. Yeah, I said the baddest.
Speak it louder for everyone to hear.
The baddest on the planet.
With who? One more time?
Oh, Neil Long.
There you go. Just to make sure. Because I'm team Nia too, so I just want to make sure.
I ain't tripping. See, I ain't trying to, Neil Long is beautiful. But
that ain't what you always see.
She's beautiful. Gotta be politically correct. But she's beautiful. But she ain't touching Megan Good, straight up.
She crushing Megan Good. That's right. Crushing her. And she older.
Hey, they're both beautiful. Right? That's our politically correct answer.
That'll be your politically correct
answer.
What's your answer?
Oh, Team Nia.
Okay. Cool.
Team Nia.
Still better than Brandy.
Oh.
Both better than Brandy.
I ain't say all that.
Did you see this? You see this? Come on, I don't like hearing. What did I say? I didn't like hearing in the shop, and look what happens. That's exactly what happens. And then they wonder why I be like,
but James, you know both of them look better than Brandy. You know that.
I disagree. I feel like they have different looks. Brandy is gorgeous
compared to them two.
I'm not comparing her. That's the thing.
I'm saying
you don't have to compare them. You don't have to compare them, and neither do you have to agree.
Why you just laughing, bro?
Brandy is Brandy.
And instigated something,
and that's all that matters.
And you did it so subtly too. You just drop it and step back.
That's it.
That's exactly what he does. That's exactly what he does. All the time. Messy. Messy.
And you fell right in. You know that. You know he bakes you like that.
But still. Like he said Brandon name all of a sudden. That's crazy.
Let's get back on topic, sir, before you throw us off topic. Any other questions you have for Brandon the Barber?
No, not at this point. No. But I would say that I've enjoyed, the questions. I enjoyed the engagement. I feel like it should happen more often. I think it's unique that a conversation like this can happen, with a barber, given perspective, not so much of someone speaking for the gay community, but allowing members of the gay community to speak for themselves. I think that's oftentimes overlooked. It's something that I think with ongoing engagement can eliminate a lot of the stigma that's usually attached with entering into a new barbershop, wherever it may be. Everyone may not be as privileged to have an experience coming in like for you, but it's not to say that that can't happen elsewhere. And it doesn't have to be accepting of one's lifestyle more so than respecting. I think that's key. The level of respect that one should have just by the simple fact of me entering in, where I don't have to change who I am, or feel like I have to change who I am to be accepted or to be considered norm, if you will. So,
yeah, that's because I didn't know until y'all brought it to my attention. I never knew like gay men dealt with anxiety coming into a barbershop. That's something that I never thought about. I never,
because it's not your experience.
Yeah, right. Exactly.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I know when I go in the regular barbershop, I already know I can talk about the baddest chicks.
Y'all don't have to.
Like naturally.
Y'all just able to be.
Natural.
Yeah.
Sports, all that. So I never thought about that. So that's something I definitely, obviously when y'all expressed that to me, that was something to think about. Like I never thought about it like that.
Yeah.
So
yeah, for sure.
I was going to say switching the guy experience in my head for a girl experience to relate in my younger years versus just giving it outright. That's something. Meaning, for example, if you had a sexual experience with somebody, it's never been with the woman, it's only been with the guy. But to meet that conversation at that time, I switched it. I would say, this is what I've done. Granted, it's never been with a woman at all. Never been close to a woman like that. But, it's just those things that you have to
fit in that conversation.
I had to fit into that conversation. Okay. I felt like I had to just to be, felt like it was more comfortable so it won't be awkward. And that's just my personal experience. I can't say everybody's done that, but that's just something that I, may have done just because I didn't want to have that awkward look or that, deer in headlights type of experience or be judged.
Yeah. Gotcha.
And I can't speak for him, but he may feel similarly. Just growing up too, just feeling wanting to feel accepted, wanting to be accepted, wanting to be treated fairly and just like everybody else and not be seen as like different or, all of us are different in a certain way, but not be like judged just because of our sexuality coming into the shop or whatever. I'm still a human being first and foremost. And honestly, that's the only thing that should matter. You know what I mean? So, and my coins, what I'm paying for the service here. So,
money's still the same.
Yeah, please go ahead and, do what you're supposed to do and be on about my way. But it'll be even greater if we're able to actually have unfiltered conversation with one another. And neither one of us feel judged or uncomfortable.
True. Where being gay is not the definition, it doesn't define who I am,
right?
As it is,
it's
a part of me, but not the definition fully of me, if you will, or of those of us who, are in that, lifestyle to that degree and are entering into the barbershops in order to have, that cut, if you will.
Yeah. But it took a long time, but I'm very happy with who I am. I'm very comfortable with who I am.
Yes.
I'm a proud gay black man. You can't tell me shit. That's how I genuinely feel. Because you didn't have to live what I lived through.
So question. This the question we always go back and forth.
All right.
Me and you debated about this before. I believe me and Leonard debated about this before. I know it's not on the script, but
do you think though?
Do you think you're born gay, or you think it's something you develop? And I'll give my perspective. I'll give my perspective after.
I can only speak for myself and say I feel like I was born gay. And I say that because I've never known anything more than attraction to, which I could not define at that time, but I know that I wasn't attracted to, girls, women as I began to get older. It's never been anything where I was sexually even enticed in any way. I can appreciate the beauty. I can appreciate, the physical features and, the attributes that they possess. But I just known for a long time for me that wasn't something that I knew to be the norm in that way. So my story would be, I feel like I was born gay because that's all I've known.
For me, I definitely feel I was born gay. I should say I know at this point because I have such strong conviction behind that. From the time that I was like 4 years old, I just felt different, just in general. And I felt like maybe I kind of, I would see a guy and, or a boy, I should say, and maybe stare at them a little longer than I would stare at a girl, right? I didn't know what that was, and I didn't know what that meant, but I'm just like, like it was just that, I don't know, it seemed like maybe there was some type of attraction in some degree, in some way. And I tell people, and I explain it like this when people ask this question. If I had been given a choice, I'll be honest, if I had been given a choice when I was very young and it was like red pill, blue pill, red pill, you'll live a straight life or you'll be a straight person in this world. Blue pill, you'll be a gay person in this world. And I got to see a preview, I would have chosen straight.
For sure.
Because no one can tell you or basically explain to you what being a young black gay male in society means for how your life will be and how you'll be judged and how you'll be, ridiculed and picked on and all this kind of stuff. No one bullied, all that. So had I been given a choice, I have to be honest, I probably would have chosen straight. But I'm grateful that I wasn't given a choice. I'm grateful that I was born this way. I'm grateful that regardless of like the adversity, the hard times and all that kind of stuff, to be sitting here right now, shooting this podcast and speaking with you guys on this topic, that's mind blowing. That's powerful as fuck, for it to come like full circle or something like that. So back then, if somebody was to ask me, "Are you gay?" No, like what? No, of course not. But now, yeah, for sure. Who asking? And why do you want to know? What is it to you?
So question. Well, it's not a question.
It's a comment?
Yeah, it's because the key words I took from what you just said, you said if it's a choice, if I had a choice of the red pill, blue pill, I think everything is a choice, correct?
You didn't choose to be black. You were born black.
Yeah, I mean, but those being gay, being just like being straight, it's an act. It's still an act. Like I still have to. You get what I'm saying? Like
I feel like that's the differentiation, though, because then there are some people in this world that lived a heterosexual normative life, and then they explore their sexuality in latter years. And right now, a woman might say she's strictly dickly, but then she was like, now I'm playing in the lady pond right now at XYZ. Now I feel like that's people who are just exploring their sexuality, but necessarily don't identify as like maybe straight or gay. Maybe they identify as bi or whatever it may be. But I can't speak for them. I can only speak for my experience and I can only speak for what I know personally to be my story and to be my reality. Yeah.
And I would add,
go ahead.
I would add to that and just say that it's almost, I can only speak to it from my end, but when we're born, it's not as though we're groomed to be heterosexual or groomed to be gay. There's not upbringing, to my knowledge, that would have one feel as though, you only like girls, even though you still like boys, and you're forced to engage in this, fake or this unrealistic expectation that you would have for yourself at the end of the day when you know for yourself, this is not who I am. So I think ultimately it boils down to how it is that you find the truth within yourself as young as you're able to know that there's a difference. So as I said, growing up, I knew that I never really liked girls, never liked girls at all. But I wasn't going to fake a situation just to be seen as normal when I'm not fitting that normative lifestyle of being heterosexual. It's always been gay.
So we're going to wrap this up in a second. So I'm going to give you my perspective. Obviously, y'all gave the world the perspective of the $1 million question. Do you think you're born gay?
Mm-hmm.
Or you developed that? Speaking from a heterosexual guy, like I said, we already spoke. We spoke about this before, and I believe it's something you develop. That's me personally.
Mm-hmm.
I can't say for sure because I'm not, obviously I don't walk the shoes y'all walk, So, and I want to be definitely mindful of that. I don't want to disrespect nobody that's out there, and that's hardcore facts. This is just my opinion.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Not to get off subject or topic, but I just feel like everything the things that you encounter in life it determines who you ultimately, become or is in a way. So for instance, is a serial killer or a rapist, are they born serial killers or rapists? No, I don't think so. Because most of the time when they get locked up or get caught, when you put them in the interrogation room, they say, well, majority of the time when it was kids, something happened to them. You get what I'm saying? So it forced them into, well, not even gonna say forced them, or it sparked something to make them be that way. So, for instance, my little brother, he's gay. So it's obviously the age difference, the age gap difference. We got a big gap pretty much. So him growing up opposed to me, when I grew up, with my cousins, older brothers and stuff like that. He was more so groomed around women, all girls, because my mom was married and he had all women. So that's all he really, you get what I'm saying? That's all he really seen.
Mm-hmm.
Again, this is not factual. I don't know if that's the reason why he became gay, but I always felt like it's something that happened along the way that made a person gay, not born gay. And again, that's why I appreciate our relationship, because just how y'all express to me about you're born that way, and you bring up some valid points.
Appreciate it.
But am I 100%? Not 100%. As to before, I was 100% left. Like, no, that what y'all talking about. Say right now, I'm probably 60-40, 70-30 maybe. So I'm opening up to like my ears to hear the other side. And, well, all right, well, maybe it is some truth. I mean, but again, I appreciate our relationship that I can disagree. We can agree to disagree. Like, yes. Just because I disagree with, okay, I don't think you're born gay, and vice versa. That don't make me hate you, not want to come get a cut with me, nothing. Like, we still rock with each other.
And vice versa.
You feel me? So I definitely, I appreciate y'all for that. So
for sure,
we can agree to disagree.
Yeah, for sure.
On that particular topic.
Mm-hmm. And may I add context to that?
Go ahead.
I also feel as though I hear what you're saying to a degree, though, because I was raised around nothing but women. It was a single grandmother, and I grew up with 3 of my sisters. So certain ways about me and certain mannerisms that I have to this day are a derivative of my childhood, because, okay, I'm around nothing but women. I might emulate them in some type of way, in the way that I speak, in the way that I walk, in the way that, whatever, in the way that I write, whoever knows, it could have an effect on that. So I don't want to discount that and what you're saying, like about your brother and like all that kind of stuff too, because I definitely feel as though it takes a part of it, but I wouldn't equate it to someone's whole sexuality being the reason of their like environment. You know what I mean? By all means, it could have more of an impact on others than, you know, some. But at the same time, I wouldn't equate it to just them choosing to be that based on their surroundings or based on their environment. But it's just my take on that. Yeah.
Mark, what
I'm tuning in.
You can chime in. What's your take on? Do you think a person is born gay, or is something that they develop over time?
Well, nowadays I feel like everybody just coming out the woodworks and like, oh yeah, I'm gay. Like, I'm gay now, y'all. Y'all ain't know I'm gay. Like, so that's what make you think like it must be a joy.
It's a fashion. You know what I'm saying? Because it's fashion. But obviously we know that's your reality. Like that's what that's what it is.
Like,
but you got some people that's like he say.
Yeah, like everybody, you know, because the community is so strong now, and it's a lot of unity.
It's strong.
Like
cancel your ass.
Now it's like
they would cancel your ass. The BI.
Right. But now it's like you know what? If I come out, it's all good because I got like everybody behind me. You know, like before you would be, you know, you'd be
ridiculed,
beaten up and all kind of stuff like that.
A huge stigma behind it.
Yeah. So it was tougher back then. Now it's just like, you know, everybody comes together and just come out the woodworks and like, yeah, I'm like this. So that's what make you think it's a choice for me.
But can I add to that too? Sometimes it's not out of the woodworks. They've been feeling this way, or they've been, you know, felt like they was born like that, whatever. But like you said, it's become a bit more acceptable. It's still not acceptable in certain spaces as we're talking about that, but it's become a bit more acceptable in society, in today's world and in today's climate for sure. And I think that's what gives people the courage to actually say, live their truth and say, this is who I am really. I may have pretended to be this, but this is who I am for real.
And to add that on word, I think there's always strength in numbers. So at the end of the day, where you may have felt like, oh, this is my story, I'm living this individually, when you live it and knowing that there are others there to support you, you obviously feel a little bit more empowered. You feel a little bit more engaged to then say, this is who I am, because you know you have the support behind you.
So we're gonna wrap up things.
We want to say thank you for coming to the show, James and Leonard. We appreciate y'all.
For sure. Thank you for having us. Thank you.
Educating us on a lot of things that we didn't know about.
This was a great conversation. Definitely.
Bigger Vision Podcast. And we got more great content coming through.
Like and subscribe.
Like Burns said, like, comment, subscribe, follow the movement. Appreciate it.